the news? Hey, is there something new? What's the news? Say what you want to say.
Hello and welcome to Coffee Talk, where this is the podcast that we drink it. We fill our cups up this time with a bunch of thick and sticky gunk. Did I say this is the podcast that we drink? Okay.
Yeah, you did say this.
It wakes you up in the morning.
Yeah.
Can we go again? One more.
If you
Take
want.
number 2.
Okay.
Or we're just gonna leave it in.
Take number 2. Leave this take in. We're gonna fix it. Hello and welcome to Coffee Talk, where we fill our cups with a bunch of thick and sticky gunk and guzzle it like the freaks we are to wake up to all the crazy stuff that's ever happened in the world. Oh yeah, brother, today's going to be extra juicy, so buckle up. I am one of your hosts, Matt, and I'm joined by my sticky, icky homies, Taryn and Max. How the heck are you guys?
Pretty good. Drink some of that liquid black gold.
I am not as good as that
Everybody's-
intro was, let me tell you.
Thank you. Yeah, the
That
mess
icky
up
black
aside.
stuff, yeah.
The sticky icky. Let's get in the muck, fellas. Max, you got some explosions to talk about. I've heard
Similar.
stuff like that.
Similar to an explosion. They all kind of I have 2 particular incidents in mind. So I guess like this week we're kind of going through some stories of various incidents that have happened, whether it be at the workplace or at a plant or whatever. Anyways, this one came to mind. Not many people know about it. In 1965, August 9th, actually both my incidents that I have happened in August. It's a great month. Not that I was born in it or anything, but a great month.
Good month for incidents.
Yeah, a great month for incidents, unfortunately. On August 9th, 1965, a silo number 373-4 near, I'm going to butcher this, so for anyone from Arkansas, I apologize. Searcy? S-E-A-R-C-Y? Searcy?
Yeah, that's fine.
Arkansas? Yeah.
I don't know.
A Titan II intercontinental ballistic missile, or ICBM, experienced a very serious accident during a routine maintenance. A leak developed in the missile's oxidizing tank, releasing nitrogen tetroxide, if I'm saying that correctly, a highly toxic and corrosive chemical. The leak caused a very dense cloud of fumes to fill parts of the silo complex. Several Air Force personnel inside the facility were exposed. Unfortunately, there were 53 airmen that became ill from inhaling toxic fumes. One airman, his name is David Livingston, not the evangelist David Livingstone to Africa that many people know. He was the one that died from exposure. There were several other sustained, not casualties, but several other incidents, but no fatalities. So maybe incidents isn't the proper word, but maybe we'll just edit that out and come up
I
with
think
some
casualties
Thank you.
work.
There were several other
Yeah.
casualties, but non-fatal injuries. The leak was actually traced to a faulty oxidizer vault that was failed during maintenance operations. It's almost like Chernobyl tried to have a scheduled maintenance that failed as well. Almost.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Design
Very
limitations
interesting.
and insufficient safety protocols contributed to the severity. So some impact and aftermath. The accident prompted the Air Force to implement new safety procedures, including better protective gear for technicians. Because while this happened, it was a typical workday and there were several people in the silo itself. Revised maintenance protocols, improved hazard detection within silos, and actually, no, those are the only 2, only 3. But it highlighted the risks of liquid fuel ICBMs and foreshadowing later Titan II issues, which became a infamous program for issues with regards to the ICBMs, including the fatal 1980 Damascus accident, which I probably should have planned for that one today as well. Would have tied well.
Is that the one? There was one where a guy dropped a wrench and it hit the fuel tank in one of these ICBMs, and it started leaking, and then eventually the whole thing just exploded. I wonder if that's that one. I don't.
Well,
I
I
don't-
do know there's several dropping wrench stories because there was
Oh,
one
really?
there was a chemical explosion in Europe with someone dropping a wrench and it causing a spark, and it just lights up the whole place.
Dang.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what happened with that one. The 1980 Titan Damascus 2, or Titan 2 Damascus program began with an airman dropping a socket wrench that punctured the first stage fuel tank
Yep.
on a missile silo near Damascus, Arkansas. Yep. So that's exactly it.
That's awesome. Yeah, you would think that a missile could take like a little wrench, though, right? Like that's.
I mean, if you think about
Maybe,
it,
yeah.
the missile
I don't
is
know.
expected to hit an object and explode, and its strongest
Yeah.
point on the missile is the tip, not the sides.
Yeah.
Because
it
I
would
assume
be.
it hit the side.
I mean, yeah, safe for weight and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. How
I
big was the
mean,
wrench? That's what I wanna
assume
know.
It's, just an average wrench. It's the 80s, right? So it can't be too.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe it is a little bit larger.
the 80s known for average wrenches. Yep.
So, Max, I'm not a physicist, but if the missile is designed to hit the object and explode, what happens when an object hits the missile?
I mean, exactly, exactly. But
Wouldn't the same thing happen?
Catastrophic failure.
maybe
I
it
guess.
wasn't
so,
armed.
So, Yeah.
True.
so it was the oxidizer that was leaking out. Is that what it's? I
For
can't remember
the
what you
Titan
said.
2 or the Damascus?
The Titan 2, and then they all just got like wicked high. They were like huffing
Yeah,
the
it was
fumes or
the
something.
nitrogen tetroxide.
Nitrogen tetroxide.
Yeah, which basically did cause them to
Butchered that.
get high and pass out. Let's see, there might.
Sounds like a fun time.
Yeah, so that liquid or the fluid or however you want to, you want to name it, it was leaking.
Gas.
Gas, yeah.
Mhm.
And everyone around there inhaled it, and one unfortunately died, and 52 other people had to be taken care of. So it's extremely toxic, the nitrogen tetroxide. And once it started leaking, the whole place filled with the cloud of fumes. Thankfully, it didn't ignite, at least to my knowledge. But dozens of airmen were exposed. David Livingston didn't make it. Seems like both Livingstons died before their time. But many had to be treated for inhaling the gas.
Hmm.
So I looked up the Titan II missile accident, and I might be seeing another one in the same year at the same place where it did catch on fire.
So I was
But this-
seeing that too, and I
Maybe-
wasn't sure if the two events were related.
Maybe it was just like one after the other. Maybe maybe when everybody passed out, they were like, "We got to do something about
Yeah,
this."
but you see,
Fine.
the Titan II missiles were fairly well known to have issues. So I
Uh-huh.
think it may be separate events, but maybe in the same area.
Yeah, it looks like this one wasn't like a super bad. I mean, it was a bad fire, but like, it said it exploded. I don't know.
I think that
That's
the
exciting.
Damascus one exploded, but I believe the Surshi one did not.
Okay. Well, yeah, everybody just went down there, had a good little party.
Gas
One
leaks
man
are no
died.
joke, though.
Yep.
Like,
No, they're not good. You know what? I'm going to stand by that. Gas leaks, not good. I'll plant my
yeah.
flag
You
on
may
that.
get high for a
Yeah.
brief amount of time, but after that,
Yeah,
you
it
may
turns
not
out
wake up.
Huffing rocket oxidizer might kill you.
Does not turn you into a rocket.
Yeah. So just kind of sticking into the nuclear discussion that we spoke about over the past few
Yep.
weeks. Maybe
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
drawing
tie
it out
that
a
in.
little bit more than it
Well, I
should,
do have
but
an incident for an international incident later on. but
even
yes.
better. And I have a fairly explosive incident for later on as well.
Okay.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right. Well, Taryn, why don't you take us into your story? I'm
Well,
curious.
This is not really an international incident because this is a more famous case. I just really love this story, and it's in 1919, and this is a tragedy that happened. So we're gonna rewind the time here, and it's a chilly afternoon in Boston's North End, January 15th, 1919. The war had ended. This is World War One.
Mhm.
The streets are busy again. It feels like you might actually be at home, like in the Boston streets. Like it's just society is renormalizing after the war. Horses pull wagons over cobblestone with slick winter frost. Children are laughing near the harbor. Okay, and towering above them is a giant, enormous steel tank, 50 feet tall, dark and rustling inside, with 2.3 million gallons of thick, sticky molasses.
Yeah, filled to the brim, y'all.
Yes.
My word.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
Enough to fill an entire city block.
And enough to fill some of your cups of coffee, because I know some of you folks like to put molasses in your coffee, namely some
Yeah.
Canadians.
I don't like to. Oh, you do? That's a
I
Canadian
don't,
thing?
but
Really?
maybe that's an
Okay.
assumption. I know some people put maple syrup in
Yeah.
their coffees as sweetener. Molasses is close
wow.
enough, you know.
Yeah.
I do have molasses in the fridge right now.
Nice.
I mean, Matt, there's only one thing to do. You have to try it.
Okay, I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna go grab the jar of molasses, and I'll give you a
There
review.
you go.
All right. If you would
go ahead
like.
and keep talking. Keep
All right.
talking. I'll come back in wherever you are.
So, at 12:40 p.m., people nearby heard a strange sound that first sounded like a low rumble, then something sharper, metallic almost.
Oh,
Locals later described it as machine gun fire, but it's not bullets that they were hearing. It's rivets, those tiny fasteners holding the tank together, shooting out like shrapnel. Obviously, what came next was a massive explosion when the tank splits apart.
wow.
This is wild. A 25-foot wave of molasses, dark, roaring, and impossibly fast at 35 miles per hour, erupts into the streets.
That's crazy. What year was this?
1919.
Oh, so there's no video footage.
No,
Oh, that's a bummer.
but a 25-foot,
That's insane.
35-mile-an-hour tsunami of molasses.
Molasses Matt has returned.
Well,
sorry.
Welcome.
Molasses,
I-
Matt,
I was just
you missed the wave
Yeah.
of molasses. Go ahead, Taryn.
Yes, a 25-foot wave of molasses roaring at 35 miles an hour.
Wow, that's a lot of molasses.
It is an incredible amount.
I didn't have death
That's
by
fast for
molasses on my
molasses.
bingo card today.
Well, I mean, you should have got a different bingo card.
I think I lost
Yeah, you got.
both my life and the game.
Yeah.
Looks like your bingo card only has numbers. You should have picked up the death by molasses bingo
You're
card.
right.
Yeah.
It's in the special section.
All right, I'm gonna drink the molasses while you keep talking.
Also, just for some context, molasses is about 1.3 metric tons per cubic meter. So
Extremely dense.
for everybody in America, it's 12 pounds per gallon. 40% more dense than water.
Oh, the molasses is not good. It's not good.
Oh, it's not good?
No, it just tastes. Oh. It's like
Oh, no.
Did you add too much?
it's wrong. Sorry. Yeah, I put a bunch in my mouth. Mm.
Is it
It's
bitter?
like it's a little bit bitter. It tastes like burnt sugar.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Sorry.
Well,
Sorry for
I'm
interrupting.
I'm glad that we had someone physically experience, even to a very minor degree, what molasses
You know what
can
though?
do to
If I
someone.
were
Yeah.
if I were to be killed by a liquid, I would be okay with that.
Yeah. Well,
Mm-hmm.
imagine trying to run. Imagine trying to breathe the air itself turning into sweet and suffocating. Like people are knocked off their feet, buildings are shredded from their foundations. A firehouse collapsed like a toy. Horses are trapped and pulled under. The more they fight, the deeper they sink. Witnesses say the flood sounded like a gargling thunder in the middle of it all. The smell of overwhelmingly sweet, choking, and unforgettable. Like smell. It's insane.
And if I remember right, the molasses in that tank isn't like the edible kind. I
Correct.
believe they were making denatured alcohol out, or
Yep.
just alcohol out of it. It
Yes.
was that, yeah.
I have more of like reasons as to like why it happened later on, but
Yeah, when you get there, I have another little fun fact. So,
Okay.
yeah, I'll let you go. I just wanted to let you
What-
know. I'm
what
gonna
was the-
interrupt at least one more time.
that's all right.
What was the death toll? Or are you getting to that?
We're just about to get there.
Sounds good.
The rescue crew arrives. Police, Navy SEAL, survivor, sailors. Can't talk.
Gesundheit.
Navy
SEAL Team
sailors.
6 shows up,
Yeah, I don't think there was
swimming through the molasses.
I don't think there was a SEAL Team 6 in 1990. So, Navy sailors and volunteers, they wade through waist-deep molasses. Each step a battle. 21 lives were lost. Over 150 people injured.
My word. How many?
That's a lot.
21?
Yeah, 21 people were killed.
21.
21?
Nice.
Yeah.
It's horrifying. I'm assuming you have like descriptions of what people say it was like what would have.
I
It would
don't
have been
have
like-
individual accounts, but I do have a couple more things. It's
Okay.
a neighborhood changed forever. It took months to wash the streets clean. Even after the harbor stayed brown until the summer. Long after the disaster, people swore they could still smell molasses every time the sun warmed the pavement. Imagine like whenever you spill something like in your car or just on the floor, and then you're trying to clean it up, and then I don't know, a week later you can still almost like get a fragrance, like a hint of it in the air, and you're like, I still smell it. I couldn't quite get it all.
Mhm.
This was 2.1 million gallons of molasses. There's
That's
2.3. There's no way you're going to be able to get this smell out.
Yeah.
It's like baked into the cobblestone at that point.
Yeah, you just have to live with. You just get used to it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's shockingly absurd of how much there was.
No, Taryn, before we get a little further, remember that? So this, for everybody listening, Taryn and I had a brief conversation about a man in Jamaica. Really bad guy. Taryn, do you know where this molasses came from?
No, I do not.
Jamaica. It came from Jamaica.
did
That
not
man
know
that I
that.
told you about the
Yeah.
man that I told you about, somewhat responsible. Somewhat
Really?
responsible for the. Yeah, I mean, obviously it was hundreds of years before, but without the sugarcane industry in
Yep.
Jamaica,
That's
the
weird.
the molasses. Yeah, no, we just tied it all together there, and you don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
That's okay.
That's fine. But this was no freak accident. From the beginning, the tank leaked. Children filled their cups with sweet streams trickling down its sides. Worker raised concerns again and again. The answer was not repairs, not reinforcement. The company, which is USIA, which is
Yeah,
United States Industrial of Alcohol. Is that right?
and industrial alcohol, I think, is like.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Yeah.
children just like hanging out under the tank, like,
Yeah.
delicious
Yes.
industrial molasses.
Yes. The company simply painted it brown to hide the leaks. The decision to cover up a problem rather than fix it became a deadly lesson in the courtroom battle that followed. The truth came out, and for the first time in U.S. history, corporations were forced to accept full responsibility for public safety. So, today, when a bridge is inspected, when permits are required, when companies are held accountable, it's partly because of a Boston day drowned in molasses.
Wow.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
You know, who would have thought? Who would have thought a little bit of molasses could make such a big impact?
Yeah.
Not a little bit, a lot. That's
A lot of it.
probably,
Yeah.
yeah, probably more molasses that exists or than exists currently right now in the world.
So
Maybe not. I don't know.
people may be wondering as to why the tank broke, and I have a couple answers here. The steel plates were too thin for a tank of that size. The chief engineer who approved the design was not trained as an engineer. He lacked proper qualifications.
hmm
The tank was never tested properly, not even
Yep.
filled with water to check for structural integrity.
They filled it up like 6 inches, I think, and they were like, "Yeah, it's fine."
Yeah.
Yeah. And it leaked even then, I think, what I remember.
Really?
Keep, yeah.
Yeah.
Keep in mind this was back in 1919. The steel lacked enough manganese, making it brittle, especially in colder weather.
Mm-hmm.
Many of the rivets were installed incorrectly and were too weak to withstand the pressures the tank was full. Yeah, the tank was known to leak constantly, overfilling and rapid expansion. So, if you're unfamiliar with molasses, as I was before I was researching this,
As you should be. You shouldn't be familiar with molasses. If you're familiar with molasses, go back to 1873 or something, wherever you're from.
yeah, just
Get outta
before the
here.
disaster, a massive delivery of warm molasses had been added to the cold molasses already inside. Now, this causes fermentation, a gas buildup, and with gas buildup, there's expansion. Temperature swings from freezing to mild weather increases internal pressures even more. The tank was literally groaning under the strain.
The thing that I love too is it wasn't just like at the end; it kind of always groaned.
Yes.
Just
Yeah.
it is. That's scary. Go ahead, Taryn. Sorry.
There was no safety oversight. I mean, that's kind of obvious. It was 1919. There was no city inspections, no structural evaluations, no pressure tests. The company cut corners to save time and money. I mean, who would have thought?
Yeah, who would have thought? The initially also tried to blame everything off of an anarchist, like an anarchy party plot
Mhm.
to like bomb the thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were trying to keep it quiet, blame with anarchists, a common tactic in the political climate of the time. Deny responsibility and avoid liability, control the narrative to protect profits. I wonder why they try to do that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, the manager at the time was just a bumbling idiot, basically. He just wanted to keep things going. He didn't listen.
Yeah.
Classic negligence.
Did you have any individual accounts?
Well, I don't have individual accounts. I just wanted to like talk about what it was like, I guess,
Yeah.
to get crushed by the molasses. I don't know if you had any of that stuff.
No, I
like-
do not. Go ahead.
Okay, well, so you would think like, oh, it's molasses, like a wave of water. You know, you're just gonna breathe it in. Most people, that's not what happened. They were either crushed to death by the weight of the molasses, so they would like bowl them under like a wave typically would, and then it was the pressure of it that expelled all the air from their lungs. So even if sometimes their head was above, it was just too heavy to even breathe
Yeah.
in.
Wow.
Yeah, or they would, a building would like land on top of them and.
Yeah.
Or a horse. It was just horrible.
Was
Horrifying.
it warm
Yeah.
too? Like hot? Because to keep molasses in a
the warm molasses.
I don't know.
Warm
if it was
molasses
fermenting.
was mixed in with the cold, was caused the fermentation. So we don't know the exact temperature.
Okay,
of it.
okay.
Do you have the story of the train, Taryn, about how that?
Oh, I think didn't it get like knocked to the side a little bit?
Well, it destroyed the elevated rail system up there. But one train went by, and it was fine. Okay. Then the molasses tank explodes, knocks the rails down. There's another train coming behind. I think the conductor of the first train, or not the engineer of the first train, got out. He ran all the way back to I can't remember what he did. He ran back to a signal or something to stop the oncoming train, and I think he just barely got him saved.
That's crazy.
Yeah, just barely in time. It knocked the elevated train system down, and I think still Boston doesn't have that
Elevated.
anymore.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they don't.
that's what ended
I was
that.
there a couple months ago, or at least I didn't see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, they had it, and now they don't. Yeah.
If you're curious to the damages that were paid by the company of the United States Industrial Alcohol, so they had to pay $628,000 in damage in 1925. If you're wondering how much that is today, it's about $9 to $10 million.
That's not a lot. That's
No,
for wiping out a whole neighborhood.
no, that's not a lot.
That's
at
a
all.
good deal.
About $7,000 per life lost. Yeah,
Ugh.
and victim's family. Yeah.
That's disappointing.
Yeah. Very disappointing.
That's a little disappointing, Taryn. You've disappointed me today.
I'm sorry, but I mean,
I wish-
corporations got to keep their profits,
Oh, yeah, that's a great point.
Sorry, was
Alright.
that a little too dark?
Yeah. Oh no, yeah. Maybe a little
He
bit.
likes his coffee dark. It's okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't put any molasses in mine.
I can ship you some. I have a whole jar of it right here. Feel
I
free.
think I want to stay clear from molasses for a
It-
bit here.
It might be fine in coffee. I've already drank my coffee.
Okay.
But on its own, I don't recommend.
I had it as a kid a long, long time ago, and it's been forever. I didn't like it back then.
Yeah, I don't remember liking it either. I love maple
But as
syrup,
you're-
but molasses.
Yeah.
I like molasses
It's
cookies, but even
way
then,
too thick.
Yeah, stick to like an ingredient for
Yeah.
molasses. Don't just
Yeah.
raw dog it. Don't just throw up molasses. Also, molasses apparently one of the worst, or not worst, one of the most prone to botulism things
Did not
that
know
you
that.
can have. Yeah, so you got to be really careful with it.
What?
So if you molasses you get botulism from molasses.
Interesting.
If you're not careful, it's one of the most dangerous things to self can.
Did not know
That and
that.
like green beans. Yeah, it's just
That's wild.
good times.
So I'm gonna throw it over to someone else who wants to go next.
Do you want to stick with the crushing theme that we've got going on in the back in the day, and then we'll ratchet it up to like modern times again with Max?
Go for it.
Sure.
Okay. Well, here we go. I'm going to tell you all about here. You know what? I'm going to read. Everybody know who Woody Guthrie is?
No,
Nope.
I do not.
Okay, he made this song "This Land Is Your Land."
Oh!
Oh yeah, I know that.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody. He's a classic American folk singer, and he wrote this song probably in the 30s or something when he was getting big about this incident that happened. All right. So this is just from the opening. This is his opening lines. Take a trip with me in 1913 to Calumet, Michigan in the Copper Country. I will take you to a place called Italian Hall where the miners are having their big Christmas ball. Ooh, that's fun, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So Calumet, Michigan in 1913 on Christmas Eve at the Italian Hall. Everybody know what like an Eagles club is or something like that?
Yes.
Yep.
Like that's basically what the Italian Hall is. It's this place. There's a bar downstairs. There's an upstairs where people can like have get-togethers and gatherings and meetings. Well, the party's held in the Italian Hall. It's this big thing. There's a union strike going on of the Western Federation of Miners, or the WFM. They're striking the Calumet and Hecla Mining Company. And 1913 is a big year for that union because it's the first year they've actually got enough people to really make a difference. They're not noticed or recognized as a union until 1913, or they're not even. Well, I don't want to spoil it. So they're having their ball on Christmas Eve, and some bad stuff happened. Okay. I just had to cough there. Sorry.
No worries.
So they're having their ball upstairs, downstairs. Some fellow walks in and he yells, "Fire, fire, fire." And people freak out. All right? They rush downstairs. They try to get out, but they can't. The doors are locked. 73 people are killed in this stampede of getting like on the stairs, 59 of which are children.
Oh,
And I'll tell you what happens. Okay? So the Upper Peninsula in Michigan is known as Copper Country.
Mhm.
It people up there mine. It's tough work. They say in 1911 60 miners died on the job, which is actually, in my opinion, less than you would think. But that's about a little bit more than one a week. But in the dark depths of the earth, they filled tram wagons and exploited the ground for its minerals.
Yeah.
So in sooty corridors lit by kerosene lanterns and carbide lamps, Through cold winters and in treacherous conditions, the men made a living doing the best they could with their hands. The communities up there, this is the kind of the interesting thing about this, is the communities in the Upper Peninsula, because there was no union and because it was kind of all company towns, they operated almost as like a communist society, because at the time there was no real government welfare, there was no union pension, so people just kind of helped each other, which is, that's kind of fun.
It's always good.
Yeah. And they did... Well, hold on. This story, it's kind of about the traditional melting pot of American society doing what it did best. It mixed together into this wonderful milieu of idealism, boiling over into this red-hot cauldron of capitalism. It's this clash between the miners and the people, the immigrants. There's these people from all over. There's Italians, obviously, the Italian Hall. There's Croatians. There's Hungarians. There's Bulgarians. There's Russians. It's everybody, all together.
I have a question real quick.
Yes.
So within this mixing, did they have any molasses?
You know what? It was 1911, and the big molasses tank hadn't exploded yet.
I would say yes.
Yeah, it was 1913. So yeah, I would say yeah.
Molasses was involved.
Highly likely.
Molasses confirmed. Yeah. So, all these folks wanted was better working conditions, more money for less time down in the mines, and they were, they also kind of wanted like socialism. This also kind of plays a big part in this downfall of socialism ideology in American society, because people were all for it for a while there, but the way this ends, they're no longer for it because of some shitty things that happen. So, the miners of the WFM, that's the union there, on the Upper Peninsula, had done their darndest to gain ground and claw back their humanity, and they established the first union hall in 1908. But it wasn't until the year of 1913, like I previously mentioned, where they had enough members to make a difference. On June, this is kind of a timeline. I'm going to run through a timeline. In June of 13, the CMF, that's the Calumet Mining Federation, organized a gathering of which, I think I wrote that wrong. The WFM organized a gathering, that's the union, of which nearly 2,000 workers attended. And speeches, this is where I'm kind of getting into the melting pot. Everybody kind of gave speeches. It was English people, Italian people, Finnish people, Croatian people, Hungarians. The melting pot had coagulated into something more. The spring and summer of that year was marked by rallies, this kind of growing hope, this solidarity, all calling for the mines to recognize them. And the mine bosses were taking notice. This is from the guy that owned the Quincy mine up there on the Upper Peninsula. His name is Charles Lawton. He wrote in like a little letter, many of our best men have joined the Western Federation and at times are brought into joining with and listening to the socialists. So this dude hates socialism, which is cool. I mean, he's a capitalist. He's doing his job. 2 weeks later, he wrote, I am again very much concerned over the present labor situation. The temper of the Finnish employees today is unprecedented in all of my experience, and it's almost unbearable. And later in June, so that was the 18th of June, and a couple weeks later, so this is kind of at the end of June, shortly after he wrote that last thing, the WFM gave its final ultimatum: negotiate or deal with a strike. Can anybody guess what the mine bosses chose? Anybody? Any guesses?
I'm guessing they chose like not to negotiate. They just wanted them to go on strike.
You're correct. You would be correct. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Actually, they folded and gave everyone everything they asked for, and only good things happened.
Oh, okay.
No. Actually, I was just reading from a children's book about a small stuffed monkey. Or I wrote this down. I'm just going to read it all. We're going to read it verbatim. I was reading from a children's book about a small stuffed monkey who works in a factory that makes toys. And the monkey is sad because it's always working, and it asks its boss for some extra time off. And the boss is like, yeah, sure, go ahead and take some of these toys with you. No, the mine bosses chose war, and hell followed. That's what happened. It was bad. So all the strikes began. People were like, yay, we're going to get rights. We're going to have a good time. But that's not what happened. It started in July. The striking started in July. Obviously, the 1913 Christmas Eve massacre happened, so it went on for like 6 months, 5.5 months. So, to break the strikes, the mine bosses did what mine bosses do.
Huh.
Anybody have a guess? Anybody have a guess?
Nope.
No guesses as to what people did to break the strikes. Well, they used violence, a lot of violence.
I was going to say potentially quit, but that works too.
Yeah. No. The mine bosses wrote to the governor of Michigan and got him to send the National Guard to intimidate the miners. The National Guard broke up their meetings, harassed picketers, and raided offices and killed a couple people here and there.
Sounds eerily familiar.
What? What do you mean? So, the capitalists had guns, but the Union had solidarity, which, kind of weak against guns if you have enough guns. But in September of 1913, this lady, she's kind of a hero, but also kind of a sad, not really sad, I don't know. But this lady, her name is Anna Clements, founded a Calumet chapter of the WFM Women's Auxiliary. So this is like all the wives of the miners. She's like, we gotta help our fellas out. Mm-hmm. And what they did, they didn't just show up and like bake cookies and stuff. They came out in force with broom handles and all kinds of household items, and they beat the shit out of anybody that would harass the miners, which was pretty rad. They called them the broom brigade.
Wow.
And they would lead like parades and marches that the miners had, and they would just beat the shit out of people.
Sounds kind of badass.
Yeah. Yeah, so she was pretty sick. But the problem was winter was coming, and as we all know, when winter comes, things get disappointing. Funds are growing thin.
Yeah.
The donations coming in are kind of wearing out. People are like, why? We thought you'd be done by now. It's been like 4 months. Yeah. What's going on here? Mm-hmm. And another problem comes up where the mine bosses convince local businesses like general stores and bars and any other business to kind of band together into this anti-union organization called the Citizens Alliance.
Ooh. This also sounds very familiar too.
Yeah, they did the unthinkable in today's day and age and turned one man against another. It's like, yeah, it never would have. You wouldn't think about that in today, right? Like it's just people trying to get along, but for some reason we don't like
anti-union stuff. Yeah, it sounds very familiar.
So it was in this dour mood that the Italian Hall disaster, or the Christmas Party of Doom, as I like to call it, was organized. So the Ladies Auxiliary, the really cool people at first put together the meeting in the Italian Hall, which I can best describe it like an Eagles Club or a VFW, which I've already said. The best reports of this event puts the total attendance at about 500 people. And our dear hero, Anna Clements, was one of the main organizers. And she was, being cool. She was up on a stage telling stories to children who were in attendance at the party. People showed up. They'd send the kids upstairs, and the adults would hang out downstairs and drink. And there was the party upstairs, too. Just kind of everybody going in and out. Mm-hmm. And as children played with each other and listened to stories, some feller, unknown even to this day, wearing a Citizens Alliance badge, walked into the party and shouted, "Fire!" multiple times before slipping away. The whole place went into a tizzy. The guests poured down the stairway to the exit below, and according to some, there were objects laid on the stairs to trip people up as they ran down, and others say there were Citizens Alliance members holding the front doors shut. Whatever it was that happened, bodies began to pile up, most of which were children.
Wow.
It's rough. They just, most of the bodies were children. I did some research on crowd-crushing events like the one I described.
There's been quite a few.
Yeah, there's been a lot. I found one that P. Diddy was responsible for. It was this City College Stampede.
Oh, yes.
where,
I've heard of this one.
yeah, 5,000 people tried to jump into a gymnasium that could only fit about half of that, and 9 people were killed.
There's been some concerts too that
Yep.
like just people get
Uh-huh.
crushed.
Yeah, like the Travis Scott
Yep.
concert.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah. So we got P Diddy mentioned in the
That's
episode.
crazy.
Now we're going to get canceled.
There's the yeah.
Yeah, if we weren't before, we definitely are now.
It's okay, embrace it. All right. Now, in my research, I found that it isn't really the being crushed that kills. So it's not like people are just like getting broken and bashed and squeezed out.
Lack of air, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, you get crushed, but it doesn't smash you up or anything. It's more like being squeezed to death
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
like a snake. Yeah.
Your
it's-
lungs can't inflate.
Yeah, once you breathe out, you just can't breathe in again, and that's good. I'm happy about that.
What?
Terrifying.
So,
You're happy about that?
yeah, it's a wonderful way to die. Just breathing out.
I mean, I've had the air knocked out of my lungs before. It is not a good feeling.
No, it's a
Yeah.
horrible feeling.
It feels like you're dying.
Yes.
So, the good news is we don't know who yelled fire, and we for sure don't know why the doors didn't open, other than all the testimony about people who said that they saw people holding the doors, and also the man who shouted fire wearing the Citizens Alliance badge. Also, the good news is that the police didn't do a very good job investigating. Who would have thought?
Oh, yeah.
And it's not good news. I'm just saying that because it's horrible. All of this
Yeah.
probably could have had some sort of resolution.
Accountability.
Yeah, accountability. If anybody actually cared about what happened.
Is this the
So-
first incident of shouting fire in like a crowded theater?
I don't know. It could be. I feel like, okay, my speculation, this is kind of editorialized. My speculation is it was the Citizens Alliance that did it, and they probably did it thinking, oh, it's going to be a funny joke. We're going to like hold the doors, and they're just going to be scared. I don't think they expected anybody to die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like
Yeah.
it was like some local like rabble rousers who were like, yeah, we're just going to scare them. We're going to ruin their party and make them think there's a fire. But then 73 people, most of which were children, die on the stairs trying to get out. And that's good. I keep saying it's not good. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. Now, I'm going to ask a question. What do you all think happened with the Union? What do you think happened?
Dissolved?
Give me some fun off the wall. Dissolved? Taryn, what do you
well,
think?
I don't think they were probably scared to go against the corporations and also their kids died, so they probably just dissolved and just kept their heads down because they didn't want another incident. It was definitely
you guys.
Yeah, I mean, those are the two directions
Antitrust.
I'm leaning. I mean, the only other option
Yeah.
that I can think of is they took drastic measures, but
But I don't
Yeah.
know any drastic measures during that
No.
time period.
yeah.
Yeah, you guys would be correct. Except it's a little bit crazier than just them dissolving. So the president of the union, Charles Moyer, he blamed the Citizens Alliance for the massacre, and he was talking. Okay, here I'll just read what I've got. So he blamed the Citizens Alliance for the massacre. He's like, we hate these guys. They did it, obviously. 2 days after the massacre, he was negotiating with the mining company's lawyers when a mob of Citizens Alliance members stormed into the room. They shot him and beat him nearly to death, and then they tossed him onto a train headed to Chicago.
Huh.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, but he survived, thankfully. I don't know if I want.
They probably sounds like they had good doctors in Chicago.
Yeah, he survived. He got the bullet out of him, and he held a press conference in Chicago where he showed his gunshot wound, and he's like, I'm coming back. We're going to continue the fight. But I never got any information on whether or not he actually came back, and you guys were right. The Union dissolved. The whole thing, him being shot and the disaster was kind of enough to just destroy all hopes of the Union. By January, many workers returned to work. And the mining company, thankfully the mining companies did give, the workers better pay.
Did they give them a pizza party?
Yeah, I'm sure they got a pizza party.
Yeah,
You
like
know.
you gotta
At least
make them
one.
happy somehow.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Maybe that's the origin
The
of the pizza party.
probably.
origin of the pizza party. Yeah, Italian hall, Italian pizza, for sure. So they gave the mining companies gave the workers their final terms: give up the union cards, stop trying to be a union, and we'll give you 8-hour days and better wages, but with no real guarantee that you're going to actually get them because you're not a union. So
Yeah.
whatever. But on April 14th, finally, 1914, the union voted to end the strike and ceded all their hopes for recognition.
Wow.
But don't worry, unions are the bad guys, right?
Yeah, they're the bad guys. Unions are the bad guys. Socialists are the bad guys. It's not the people who were trying to fight against that are the bad guys that wound up killing 73 people and shooting a man nearly and beating him to death. So there's no happy ending here. The Citizens Alliance actually grew in popularity, and they attained some minor political power along with a couple of anti-socialist leagues. And they shaped policy in copper country for decades, through the early 20th century, all the while sweeping under the rug the heinous shit they did in the Italian Hall. What I found when I researched, people just didn't really bring it up after it happened. I already told you about the song that Woody Guthrie wrote.
Yeah.
It's truly horrifying to listen to. It's called the 1913 Massacre. In 1984, the Italian Hall was demolished. And now all that remains of it on an empty plot of land is a small memorial and its front door arch with a couple of signs on it.
Wow.
That's depressing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good times. Max,
Well, I don't think I have
why don't you
something
blow us out of the
more
water?
depressing than that, but I can try.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
Bring it on.
picture this. You are in Beirut, fairly warm climate.
Okay.
It's a nice, beautiful August day. You're at work, going to work.
August.
You're at home. Then out of nowhere, you feel a shockwave, and seconds later, a massive explosion sound erupts your ears. Well, unfortunately, that's what
Yes.
happened in Beirut on August 4th, 2020. Basically, what happened was a giant pile of ammonium nitrate, which is highly unstable.
Pesky stuff.
Yep, basically industrial fertilizer that can be turned explosive under the wrong conditions. And the wild part is that it had been sitting in the warehouse at the port. Sorry, so I should clarify that this was actually at a warehouse on the port of Beirut. It's been sitting there for 6 years, just gathering dust, tons of it, literally tons, thousands of tons.
I didn't know that. I knew about this explosion. I didn't know it had been sitting there for 6 years. Oh my gosh.
So it's just a bomb just sitting there.
It
at
was
this
a
point,
bomb,
right? It's like-
exactly. If you watch the explosion, if you watch the explosion, you can see the shockwave, you can see the blast, you can see like it looks like a mini nuke. It's unreal. The only thing
Yeah.
you don't have is a mushroom cloud. But it was sitting in the warehouse at the port for 6 years, gathering dust. Like I said, thousands of tons stored very poorly in a place that absolutely should not have been stored. Everyone knew it was dangerous. There had been letters sent claiming for years that this is extremely dangerous, but nothing was ever done about it. So, unfortunately, something in that warehouse caught fire that day, as many warehouses, unfortunately, do have items that can spontaneously burst, whether that be chemical or fireworks or what have you.
Yeah.
And the fire grew, and it eventually reached the ammonium nitrate and caused one of the largest explosions that was not a weapon in recent history. The shockwave ripped through
That's wild.
half the city. Windows shattered for miles. Whole neighborhoods got flattened. People thought it was an earthquake or that they were being bombed. I mean, they were essentially being bombed, just not directly.
Yeah, it was
Uh,
kind of bombed themselves.
yeah. Over 200 people died. Thousands were injured.
Jesus.
Hundreds of thousands suddenly didn't have their homes. I believe it was about 300,000 people. And it hit Lebanon at literally the worst possible moment, right in the middle of a massive economic and political crisis. I believe there was a major election
Jeez.
or something of that nature at the time. The blast just ripped the lid off the corruption and the negligence that people had been fed up with for years, and within days the government collapsed. It's one of those tragedies that didn't just happen because of an accident. It happened because of a whole failed system to do one thing it's supposed to do: keep people safe. Very similar
Yeah.
in
Wow.
nature to the nuclear reactor in Chernobyl, but somewhat different in the sense that there have been warnings. 200 people were over 200 people killed, thousands injured. Like I remember seeing news of this and just
Mhm.
thought it was absolutely wild, and maybe we can even
What year was this? It was like
2020.
2020. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember there was one video. It was a person standing in front of a window watching the fire at the warehouse, and then it just it goes
and
up.
that's the
Yeah.
thing. It was a massive fire, so many people were actually videotaping it. Like, oh, look at that plume of
Yeah.
smoke. Like, what happened there? And it's a phenomenal sight to see because you see the explosion, you see the smoke dissipating, you see the shockwave, and then all of a sudden everything that's near it is just disintegrated. And again, if you watch the explosion at almost in a freeze frame, you see the initial blast, and then there's the
Mhm.
second blast of all the ammonium nitrate exploding all at once. And it's a marvel to watch. And it's unfortunate that it happened and that many people died. But it's, just to see that today, especially under non-controlled or in a non-controlled environment, uh,
Yeah.
you just don't expect it.
Yeah, that it's devastating.
Yep. I know it's less of a storytelling than what both of you
Mhm.
had,
Well,
but
it's
it's the one point of negligence that I just thought, man, I have to bring it up.
no, it's a good. I mean, it kind of relates to all of what we were talking about. It's this sort of workplace negligence slash, uh, I mean, not corruption, corruption, kind of greediness.
Yeah.
Is what all of these things kind of have in common, except for maybe like the nuclear Triton 2. I think. Well, maybe. I mean, that was just scary.
Yeah.
There's this idea that like, oh, we just have to, huff a bunch of rocket oxidizer to learn things.
Yep.
When they probably already knew like this stuff is dangerous, they could have taken steps to mitigate, any danger, but they didn't.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And I did
Until
want to
people died.
preface that there are two separate instances of Titan II. One was the explosion in 1980, and the one in 1965 was the gas leak.
Yeah.
Nice.
I had
God.
one last thing. It's a quick story here. This was in August 21st of 1976. So a quiet corner of the Korean demilitarized zone. So if you're unfamiliar, between North Korea and South Korea, there's this area of land that really people try to trespass and go to the other country, but like, they're not really allowed, and it's not successful. It's heavily militarized. So I think it's a misnomer. It's demilitarized. It's definitely militarized.
Yes.
There's like landmines and guards, and it's a bad area. You don't want to be anywhere near it. Well, there was the Joint Security Era, or JSA, sat under a heavy, almost unnatural stillness. A single tree, tall and thick, stood at the center of it all. Its branches hung low, blocking line of sight between the two nations' checkpoints. It was just one tree. By the end of the week, a tree would bring the world to edge of war. 3 days earlier,
I think I remember this story. Sorry,
August
continue.
18th. No, that's fine.
August again?
August 8th. Yeah, August
God
18th.
damn. Incident August.
Yep.
Mhm.
We gotta have
A
that
small
as-
group of U.S. Army engineers and South Korean soldiers had approached the tree with the most mundane order imaginable, just to trim its branches. They've done it before, but this time, a squad of North Korean soldiers led by the volatile Lieutenant Pak Chul, nicknamed the Bulldog, showed up demanding they stop. Suddenly, they were attacked, and in the chaos, 2 U.S. officers, Captain Arthur Boniface, First Lieutenant Mark Barrett, were brutally killed with axes.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's very, very morbid. The murders shocked Washington and Seoul, but question is, how do you respond to this brutality without igniting a new Korean War?
Yeah, you can't just come back at him with more axes. Like that's.
So this started a mission called Operation Paul Bunyan. I'm not kidding.
All right. Did they just come back at them with more axes?
So, Operation Paul Bunyan, if you're unfamiliar, Paul Bunyan is an urban legend where there was a giant that cut down trees. That was the whole point. We were taught as kids.
He's got like a blue dog or something?
Yeah, I believe so. At 7 a.m. on August 21st, 1976, the JSA woke up to a sight unlike anything it ever seen. A convoy of more than 24 vehicles rolled out, stepped out carefully chosen team of American and South Korean soldiers, not with rifles in hands, but chainsaws.
And was that just to cut down the tree?
Yes. Surrounding them was the real message. A company of infantry took position. Armored personnel carriers rumbled forward. South Korean special forces in blackface paint appeared like shadows at the perimeter. Artillery units, helicopter, gunships, and fighter jets were all placed on high alert at sea and in the air. U.S. and ROK forces stood ready. Even the aircraft carrier USS Midway waited offshore.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
All for one tree. The mission was simple: cut down the tree completely and do it in broad daylight. A defiant act of strength without firing a shot. As the chainsaw roared to life, North Korea's soldiers gathered across the bridge, confused and then stunned as they watched the tree they had sparked so much bloodshed slowly topple inch by inch, beginning and behind the engineers of wall of power of tens of thousands of troops across the peninsula on full alert sent a message with no interpreter was needed to understand. If North interfered again, the response would be overwhelming. But no interference came. The North Korean guards remained frozen in place. Within 42 minutes, the tree laid on the ground, reduced to logs and to splinters. Operation Paul Bunyan was complete. Hours later, in a rare retreat, North Korea issued a statement expressing regret over the killings of unprecedented concession. The crisis passed, war was avoided, and the tree, once threatened to ignite a global conflict, became a symbol of resolve.
I just say I did not expect axe murder to be brought up today.
I did not either, but
yeah, well, I mean,
very fascinating.
Axe murder, molasses, drownings, crushings, however you want to word it.
Yeah.
Ammonium nitrate explosions,
War
gas leaks,
igniting. Definitely tie back to the high tensions.
Unions. Yeah, like,
we kind of talked about it all today, didn't we?
We did.
It was a great episode.
All right. Well, that was truly a revelatory episode, I think, from us all here on the Coffee Talk. We hope you listeners have had a great time. In the comments, please leave your own workplace accidents. Have you accidentally crushed somebody with a forklift? Let us know in the comments below, please.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you.
Did you try any new molasses?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Grab a jar of molasses. Please guzzle it. Find a decommissioned Titan II nuclear bomb, or ICBM.
Please don't drop a wrench on it.
Yeah.
Don't drop a wrench, but find the little nozzle where the oxidizer comes out of. You just crank that open. Take a big, just
deep breath of air.
just a deep breath and just see what happens. Yeah.
Do you want
Well,
to give us
fellas.
our depressing fact, Max?
I got a
Yeah,
good
Max,
one for you. Or
All
We
right.
need-
maybe
we need
good
it.
isn't the right.
I'm ready for
Word
the
this.
depressing pause.
Yes. One day, Earth
Okay.
will lose its ability to support a complex life, and 99.9% of all species that have ever existed will vanish forever, leaving no trace they were ever there.
Wow. Yeah.
Might be part of the reason why we're looking towards the cosmos for another planet.
Yeah.
I mean, our
Just
sun's going to
looking
burn
out
out
there, we're
eventually,
like-
you know?
Very true.
Billions a year. I think about that a lot. That keeps me up at night.
Well,
It
then.
won't be in our lifetime, but
You don't
Okay.
know that. You can't know that.
I mean, that's true. I do not know that, but the likelihood of it happening in our lifetime is very small.
There's been
Wouldn't it
new
be cool,
studies
though,
that
to-
suggest a black hole is approaching us.
Oh damn!
So you
That
never
That would
know.
be fun. That's a fun way to go. That's better than molasses, I think.
Eh,
Black
Similar
black
to being
hole
crushed.
and then molasses. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like being sucked to death. Yes, please.
Mhm.
Hell yeah!
Okay.
All right, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell your friends about the podcast that talks about everything. We're not afraid. We're not afraid to bring up P Diddy
Yeah.
or
I guess
black holes
not.
in the same episode.
Yep.
Nope, not at all.
If
Yeah.
you all
No.
ever have any suggestions or discussion points for us to bring up, please let us know. We'd be more than happy to oblige. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
We might have a flu or like pandemic kind of episode soon.
Oh yeah. Yeah, guys, join us next week when we're gonna probably talk about the Black Plague or syphilitic insanity. I don't know yet. We're gonna
Or it could be
gonna
just a
figure that
Christmas episode. We don't know.
yeah, or just the Christmas episode. We'll talk about how Santa Claus
What?
is a pagan deity. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
have a great week. Enjoy your
1,
coffee.
2, ready, go. What's the news? Hey, is there something new? What's the news? Say what you want to say.